Let's see if we have Cesar on with us now. Cesar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Cesar, how are you? How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for joining us. And we know that you are a very knowledgeable and true expert on the use of ammonia in the Philippines. So please go ahead and take it away with your presentation. We're very much looking forward to it.
Okay. History of safe use of ammonia and as a refrigerant in the Philippines. So, history of the use of ammonia in the Philippines started in the 1890s when San Miguel Brewery used ammonia as for the refrigeration system in its brewing process. Insular ice plant and cold storage in Luasang Bonifacio was the oldest facility that produced black ice and also store unpasteurized San Miguel draft beer in the 1900s. And this is where it began. It has to give way to the MRT1 line in 1984. All black ice plant before World War II were using ammonia as refrigerant. Most of these were built by Coppel Inc., the oldest refrigeration company founded in 1904 in Manila, Philippines. Coppel was using the refrigeration technology of Frick for its ice plant and cold storage and brewing process and food processing. Low speed 300 to 400 RPM reciprocating compressors were used, usually Frick or a York heavy duty compressor. It's a 2-piston compressor. The oldest ice plant in the Philippines was Luz Ice Plant, also known as TP Marcel, using low-speed York and Frick compressors. One of the oldest ice plant still in business in the Philippines is also Mandaluyong Ice Plant, owned by the Samson family in Shaw Boulevard, Mandaluyong. After World War II, Pacific Star, owned by the Cantada family, of using compressors. Ammonia leaks are normal occurrence in old ice plant due to poor maintenance record and the use of ammonia refrigerant with a purity below 99.95% or refrigerant grade. Usual accident happens due to untrained plant personnel in ammonia safety. It also happens during the manual purging of air in the refrigeration system as they don't use automatic purger. The biggest ammonia accident happened in 1978 in San Miguel Polo Brewery due to liquid ammonia leaks in its brewery cellar cooling system. 3 engineers died at said accident. The problem is actually poor refrigeration preventive maintenance and the use of low-grade ammonia refrigerant. The reaction of San Miguel management was to convert the cellar in 1979 using propylene glycol as secondary refrigerant, and the refrigerant system is converted into Freon or R22. The solution was short-lived as the system was not efficient. In 1983, the R22 system was junked and replaced with the efficient ammonia glycol chiller system in its fermenter and storage tank. In 1989, almost all of the big refrigeration plants in the Philippines were using liquid overfeed, which is cheaper to build and efficient than the flooded system. In February 3 this year, the biggest ammonia to date accident in terms of 96 persons were hospitalized due to ammonia fumes, and 2 employees died in the TP Marcelo ice plant incident due to the probable metal failure caused by ammonium hydroxide, a corrosive chemical produced when ammonia mixed with water. This is due to the practice of not using refrigerant grade ammonia. And in 1993, I told the owner, the late Engineer Tobias Marcelo, to use refrigerant grade refrigerant, but he didn't follow my suggestion. In year 2002, San Miguel Group started our PET packaging plant. We envisioned to use low-charge ammonia chiller for the 3 facilities in the Philippines and another 3 in Southeast Asia. We have 2 types of system, the pure package chiller using PHA and skids, and the hybrid package chiller with PHA evaporator and evaporative condenser. We have done this hybrid because of poor water quality in the Philippines. We have GNQ, the only local manufacturer for these 2 types of package chiller, and still manufacturing it in the Philippines until now. Well, in this industry training in ammonia and CO2 refrigeration in the Philippines. Ammonia and CO2 refrigeration training in the Philippines is 0. In 1993, San Miguel Brewery decided to send 2 of its refrigeration engineer to study further industrial ammonia refrigeration system and operation in the Hull Training Center, Northwest Kent College of Technology, Dartford, Kent, UK. In 1993, San Miguel Brewery started the Brewery Engineering School to train engineers in ammonia refrigeration operation. ASHRAE, Philippine chapter, planned to set up an ammonia refrigeration program similar to Hull Training Center, but until now it is just a big plan. The challenge is the financing of an ammonia CO2 training center, as we detail a lot of costs for our ASHRAE chapter. We need the refrigeration manufacturer to support our dream, the center like the Hull Training Center in Dartford, Kent, UK, and the Garden, similar also to the Garden City ammonia program in Garden City, Kansas. The refrigeration industry has no program in training engineers and technicians in either ammonia or CO2. Our group had an idea, but we need the support to fulfill our dreams of 20 years. So for the ammonia safety program, we can conduct this similar to what Ammonia Safety Training Institute is doing in the US. The video safety training can be done soon as I have attended the training in Baltimore, Maryland in June 2008. We can do the emergency response training, which we have done with our clients, and we can share this training to the industry. Thank you very much.
Cesar, thank you very much for your presentation. Yeah, sorry about those connection issues, but I think we heard some of your main messages very well. I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So you mentioned that there was a training initiative that you were working on for the past few years with ASHRAE, the main hall, I believe. Is that still ongoing today, or is that not happening?
It's still a plan because we have a problems on financials, and we need manufacturers of compressors and the others to help us set up that training center. So we need for natural refrigerants. That's it. Ammonia and CO2 if possible.
You know, the presentation that was before you, Mr. Stefan Jensen from Australia, was talking about reducing the ammonia charge in the system by a significant percentage, and this having multiple effects on energy efficiency and safety. Do you see a big potential for low charge ammonia systems? Other than training, your training is a big issue, but for the systems themselves, do you see potential for those in the Philippines?
Well, the problem actually is, as Mr. Jensen had said, that the problem is the first cause. the Filipino businessman would still go to the lower cost technology. That's the biggest problem because we were trying to do that, but didn't push through because the clients are always comparing with the old system and liquid overfeed. So that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, one thing. Yeah, finance for the training and for the systems themselves. One thing Stefan Jensen mentioned is that with a loan, you could and the savings that you would get from the energy efficiency of the systems from day one, that would almost offset the cost of those loan payments. Does that sound like a good opportunity for people who might not be able to afford these systems?
Yeah, that would be a good opportunity if the clients are open-minded. That's the biggest problem that we have in the Philippines. Because they would always compare to the first cost of their competitors.
Yes, knowledge, raising awareness and spreading knowledge is, I think, one of the main missions of our project here with the CCI-Hub. Thank you very much for your presentation. Can you tell us a little bit, just to close things off here, what are you working on these days with respect to ammonia refrigeration technology? What are you working on currently?
We are building a 10,000 pallet position cold storage in Cebu, and it can be expanded to another 8,000 on the second phase. So we'll be cooling down by next month. We'll cool down the the cold storage, and it would be operational and completely test and commissioned by June. So that's what we're doing.
Great.
And we have another project, but it's for an abattoir, slaughterhouse, and we're not yet sure if, because the budget is a problem, we need an additional of about 30 million for the budget of the owners.
Yeah, so multiple projects ongoing today. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Cesar, and thank you very much for your presentation. We'll say goodbye for now, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay.
Thank you.